watching Island Post News Daily.
The biodiversity-rich Lura village in East Jaintia has been chosen as the site for a scheme of the Central Silk Board, the in-situ conservation of Muga silkworm project, which is to be implemented by the Department of Textiles under the Northeastern Region Textiles Promotion Scheme. Lura, so far largely unknown to the outside world, is now one of the most important places on the world map of silk, one of the costliest and most sought-after materials on earth. The village is one of the 97 villages in Saipung block, has a population of 431 spread among 73 households according to the 2011 census. A memorandum of understanding was signed by the village heads and government representatives on 19th November. A team of scientists who have been studying the area said that it has huge potential for its conservation and flora resources are readily available for utilization. Under this scheme, the people of the area will receive special training in silkworm rearing, the art of weaving, and get extraordinary focus for advancing in the sector. The local Dorbar, under the leadership of the Wahechnong, Lalpui Rengam were delighted to be part of the important project. Lura was chosen for this prestigious pilot scheme because the village and surrounding areas have an abundant growth of wild Muga food plants such as the som plant and saulu plant. Also found in the area are the secondary food plants of the Muga silkworm such as Digloti plant and the Mijankari plant. However, though the area has been a treasure trove of wild Muga food plants, the local people do not traditionally rear and weave silk. They are just beginning to do this under a project recently implemented there. The team of experts that were instrumental in identifying the wild Muga food plants in the area were B.N. Chaudhary, C.Z. Renthley, G. Subramanyam, and Riham Langsinjari. The Silk Board said that with the Muga silkworm being endemic to the northeast, this project will help in extending Muga flora in the region and the country as a whole, which will benefit sericulture farmers and provide sustainable employment to rural people. This project will for now run in two other states, that is Assam and Nagaland. It will be supervised by the Central Muga Eri Research and Training Institute along with the office of the West Jaintia District Sericulture Officer.
Good afternoon everyone. Myself, our senior scientist B.N. Chaudhary sir and Colin sir, along with our DOS staff and the village people. Today we came here in Lora village, Jaintia Hills, to survey suitable site for Muga in situ conservation. As we can see here, the first one is a mesenchyri and different kinds of som morphotype and different kinds of som. As you can see here, these are different kinds of som we have collected from different plants available over here, and we have found on cricula also and som. So still our survey is going on. What we have personally observed is this site is fully abundant with saulu plants, Lichia salicifolia. Wherever rarely we can also find the som, and also we have abundant plantations of mesenchyri, and we can see their flowering pattern. So our main aim is to conserve Muga in this particular area. In any conservation project, there are two important things we should know. First thing is we should have a natural Muga food plants, that is som, salu, or maybe you have a mesenchyri or digloti. So in this site now we had just now survey. In the survey we came to know that here the site is full of salu. Salu is there, and a little bit som also noticeable, and we have mesenchyri also there. That means this site has that important for Muga conservation. In Muga conservation generally we have three different zones. First one is the buffer zone, second one is the transition zone, third one is the core zone. What is buffer zone? Buffer zone means the region between your village to starting of this area. Starting of this area is buffer zone. In the buffer zone what happens, human activities will be there. That means गांव वाला इधर आएगा, पीछे वापस जाएगा, कुछ काम करता रहेगा, विलेज से भी लोग इधर तक अटेंड करेगा. ये बफर जोन है. Buffer zone में you have already Muga food plants are also there in his own plant, private plant also. These all are buffer zone. Then we cross this buffer zone, entered into this area. That is, you told na, the private area, something like this. This is known as transition area. So here what happened, once you cross this is a core zone. In the core zone, whatever Muga silkworm and cocoons are there, we should not go. इसमें enter नहीं करना है, किसी पे भी enter नहीं करना है. out the cocoon also should not take it out. We should keep it like that only. But for educational purpose as well as weather station and all for monitoring purpose, we can go to the transition zone. Transition zone means just nearby the core zone, like this area. For example, that is core area. This is your transition area. We can come only up to this point. We should not cross there because we should not disturb the Muga silkworms. Okay, in the transition area you have weather stations or drainage buildings, or you can have some trainings also. Even students from maybe from Shillong University, from zoology, anyone can visit this transition site and they see the Muga silkworms, host plants and all, and they will go back.
Yeah, last time when I took
Understood? So that's what I meant to say. And you need to have from the transition zone and we have to make soam plantations here in the transition zone and buffer zone. You can plant the soam. 4,000, 5,000 plants also there. Generally what happens, for example, in the core zone, if full plants are over, these Muga silkworms can come from core zone to transition zone. So therefore in the transition zone, we should have some plantations. So in the plantations means we have to make the plantations, block plantations. So these are the 3 areas. So you will get trained. Our district agriculture officer Sabaina, he will give you some extension and training programs regarding these concepts. Okay, and the village people should aware that something, some Muga conservation is happening here. We should not touch whatever cocoons, and because these are very costly cocoons. Sometimes what happens in other area, people will enter into the core zone, they take the cocoons and they will sell it. We should not do that. We should not do that. You can take from the buffer zone. In the buffer zone, what happens basically, you have your own plantations. You can do Muga rearing in the buffer zone, you can take the cocoon. But the transition zone and core zone, you should not touch. And one fellow should monitor all this stuff. That is important. So we will discuss with our 4 members, then we will let you know. And most importantly, if the site is selected for Muga conservation, so you will have important your village in the world map. Because Muga conservation, Muga milta hai sirf north eastern region, that is only in Assam mein, and Nagaland, Meghalaya, Arunachal mein little bit. In Assam we have done conservation, BTC, Bodoland we have done, and here we will discuss that. And that is a good achievement.
It is one way of promoting the
Village to the country.